The Loyalist Parkway is a memorial to the settlers who remained loyal to the British Crown and fled extreme persecution during the American War of Independence. Beginning in 1784, they endured famine, sickness, and severe privation to found a nation. The Loyalist Parkway Association is dedicated to maintaining and enhancing the heritage and natural beauty of the route along which their first major road was built. The parkway passes through 4 municipalities. We invite you to explore the history as you travel through each of the 4 regions. Loyalist Township, Greater Napanee, Prince Edward County, Quinte West. In 1984, on the 200th anniversary of the settling of the area, Queen Elizabeth II opened the eastern gates of the Loyalist Parkway. The gates commemorate the United Empire Loyalist settling of the area, starting in 1784. As we move west along the parkway, we come to what was once the famous floating bridge at Parrott's Bay, named after Lieutenant James Parrott of Jessup's Loyal Rangers. Parrott had served in Rogers Rangers in the 7 Years' War and joined Jessup in Montreal in early 1777. He served through the duration of the Revolutionary War in 1783 and settled in Ernestown in 1784. The bridge allowed travelers to cross the bay easily. This village is the landing site of a part of Jessup's Loyal Rangers in June 1784. Nearby is the Amherst Island ferry dock. For a small fee, one can take a side trip to Stella on the island. This is an important stop for migrating birds and a refuge for a large population of owls in winter. Several famous artists lived and painted here. The historic village of Bath features a number of heritage buildings and plaques. For a local map and more information on many historic sites here, see the Parkway Tourist Information Shelter in the park on the north side of the road near the traffic lights. The Layer Cake Hall, Bath Library. The Fairfield Goodseat House, late 1700s, open to visitors in season. The Old Town Hall, Bath Museum, and St. John's Anglican Church should not be missed. There is a park and swimming beach east of the stoplight on Main Street. The Greater Napanee portion of the parkway starts at the Gap Park, site of an Algonquin settlement and near the first windmill built in Upper Canada. The stretch of the road is dotted with numerous 18th and 19th century homesteads, including the Hay Bay Church, circa 1789, and United Empire Loyalist Heritage Center and Park, site of the first landing. The eastern portion of the parkway ends at the Glenora Ferry, in sight of the Van Alstyne Mills at Glenora. As it follows close to the shore, the parkway offers frequent views of Lake Ontario and active farms. Orchards in bloom are spectacular in May and June and are famous for pick your own in the fall. East of the Atura Power Napanee Generating Station and OPG Lennox Generating Station, the parkway has been curved around the site of a native longhouse and burial ground dating back to about 800 AD. At Sandhurst, see St. Paul's Anglican Church and the historic plaque for Major James Rogers. Opposite the church is the historic Robert McDowell Church, tower only, and cemetery. In 1834, a frame church was built by the early Presbyterian families. On September 21, 1921, the church was destroyed by fire. The tower, with its battlements, was restored as a monument for the cemetery and a vault door installed in front. Head north of Adolphustown on County Road 8. Turn right at the junction with South Shore Road to find Hay Bay, with the historic Hay Bay Methodist Church. Close by are a memorial to the first organized meeting in Canada of the Society of Friends, Quakers, and a plaque marking the boyhood home of Judge Alexander Fisher. Returning to the Loyalist Parkway, just west of County Road 8 is St. Alban the Martyr Church, which was erected in 1884 as a memorial to the United Empire Loyalists who settled here. Nearby, in the Old Town Hall, municipal government was initiated in Canada. Just across the parkway, in the United Empire Loyalist Heritage Center and Park, is the site of the landing of the Loyalist settlers in June 1784. Visit the Loyalist Cemetery and find the plaque about the Loyalist leader Major Van Alstyne. The Loyalist Cultural Center in Allison House is a genealogical archive and museum. The park offers camping, day use, boat ramp, swimming, and fishing. Heritage reenactments sometimes take place in the attractive tree-filled picnic grounds. St. Alban the Martyr Memorial Church stands by the side of the road, elevated on a rise of land, about 40 kilometers west of Kingston, in the quiet hamlet of Adolphustown. The church was built close to the landing site of the 4th Town contingent of the United Empire Loyalists, who arrived at Adolphustown Creek on June 16, 1784, and is dedicated to United Empire Loyalists. The old Adolphustown Township Hall, located on Loyalist Parkway at Adolphustown, is the site of the first town meeting in Upper Canada and the Midland District Courthouse, 1792. The current building was constructed circa 1860 to replace the courthouse that burned in the 1840s. The UEL Heritage Center and Park is the site of the original landing of the first group of United Empire Loyalists under Major Peter Van Alstyne, which took place on June 16, 1784. The first Loyalists were settled on the grounds in tents and spent their early days here before moving to their new homes. The UEL Heritage Center and Park is dedicated to the preservation of this important location, which included the first Loyalist cemetery, established in 1784, and the oldest monument to the Loyalists in Canada, erected in 1884 for the Loyalist Centennial celebrations. The Glenora Ferry has been crossing the Adolphus Reach since the early 1800s and has served as a link between Adolphustown and Glenora. During the Loyalist settlement of the region, the Bay of Quinte served as the lifeline between the communities, moving passengers and supplies. A visit to Prince Edward County is time well spent, no matter what the season. Wherever you end up, the view is awesome, the people are friendly, and you're always within arm's reach of something amazing to sample. Lake on the Mountain is a natural wonder. It sits 60 meters above the Bay of Quinte, and with a constant flow of clean, fresh water with no apparent source, it is definitely a curiosity. Picton is the major town on the Parkway and is the municipal center of Prince Edward County. The name was suggested by Reverend William Macaulay, a prominent local rector and landowner. Picton hosts numerous arts and cuisine-related events and festivals throughout the year, many at the historic Crystal Palace venue. Bloomfield was a prominent Quaker town, boasting several meeting houses, now demolished, and 2 Quaker cemeteries, the Hicksite Cemetery in the west and the Quaker Burying Ground in the east. The best preserved small town on the Parkway, Bloomfield has become a destination for relaxed shopping, dining, and accommodation in heritage homes. Wellington, one of 3 major towns in Prince Edward County, has had a sheltered harbor since very early days. Trade coming through Wellington was big business and made many people wealthy, including local merchant Archibald McFall. He built Tara Hall, overlooking the harbor, circa 1839. Rose Hall, previously known as Hampsteadville, was a small milling community and housed a mill as early as 1829. It never grew larger than 100 residents and only contained at most a general store and blacksmith shop in terms of amenities. The village of Hillier was established before 1835 and already had 2 mills and a post office by that time. It was more popularly known as Pleasant Valley and hosted the usual array of tradesmen and services. The prosperity of the village only increased with the construction of the Prince Edward Railway in the 1870s. Consicon began to take shape as early as the late 1790s, when William Marsh, UE, native of Vermont, petitioned to the Crown for the patent to the site of the village. Marsh had been granted the land for his loyalty, and after returning to the United States, his acreage passed to his son, Matthias. Matthias Marsh fathered 24 children, and they contributed greatly to the growth of the village, including the eldest, Archibald Marsh, who built the first grist mill in 1808. The village of Ameliasburg was originally called Roblin's Mills, after the prominent structure built by Owen Roblin in 1842. It was renamed to avoid confusion with mills owned by other Roblins in Sophiasburg. However, after the mill closed in 1920, the surrounding businesses began to close. The mill, in danger of being demolished, was relocated to Black Creek Pioneer Village in the 1960s, where it still resides today. Just a short drive from Toronto, about an hour and a half, and Ottawa, 2.5 hours, Quinte West is a popular destination for the many outdoor activities it offers in all 4 seasons. Quinte West also offers cultural festivals, events, and attractions that honor the unique heritage of the area, both the people who first settled here and the industries that nurtured its growth. Carrying Place was the site of a traditional portage route between the Bay of Quinte to the east and Lake Ontario to the west. A plaque commemorating the 1787 purchase of Lake Ontario frontlands from the Massasauga Indians stands at the northwest corner of the traffic light intersection with County Road 64. The Murray Canal and Lift Bridge was built between 1882 and 1890. At the south end of the bridge is a small parkette with picnic tables and information about the canal. The western entrance to the Loyalist Parkway is located in the city of Quinte West at the intersection of Highway 33 and County Road 40, approximately 6 kilometers south of Highway 401, exit 522. Entering the parkway from here, you will cross the Murray Canal and pass through the historic hamlet of Carrying Place.